Well, the court let the 2011 results in Etobicoke Centre stand, so Tory MP Ted Opitz gets to keep his riding. But the judges also sent a pretty stern warning to Elections Canada that unless it does its job properly, Canadians will start to lose faith in democracy. And this comes after all the revelations we've heard about the robocall scandal, after some pretty troubling elections financing irregularities, and with the dawning realization in recent weeks that the rules for paying back political loans are just not workable. So I would say that it's over to Mark Mayran, the Chief Electoral Officer. He's got to come up with some plausible messaging about how they're going to tighten up enforcement of the existing regulations and maybe suggest some amendments to the Elections Act so that, that this kind of growing unease about the way we elect people doesn't fester and continue on towards the next campaign. So I guess that's pretty clearly the next stage in this story.
No. Andrew Coyne wrote a column not long ago, and he spoke about the importance of speaking truth to power. And he pointed to people like governors of the Bank of Canada. He spoke about auditors general, positions of that nature, the parliamentary budget officer as well. This week, what we saw is people in those positions, even if they're appointed by the current Conservative government, aren't afraid to speak that truth to that power. The parliamentary budget officer has caught the attention of the opposition, as has the auditor general. The PBO head is going to take the government to court, or he might take several departments to court, and the Auditor General had harsh words for the government on a number of fronts. And even this week's Supreme Court ruling, which sided with the government, or at least with one of the government's MPs, after a little bit of bluster about whether or not it was sort of partisan and whether the court was divided along partisan lines, proved to be, when a lot of people chimed in who really know about this kind of thing, false. And the court really wasn't kowtowing to the government.
Uprising and now civil war in Syria, next door to Lebanon, has already taken on some stark sectarian overtones, and the fear has always been that those might spill over into Lebanon. The car bombing last week killed Wissam al-Hassan. He's an intelligence chief in Lebanon, who's seen as very close to the March 14th anti-Syrian opposition group, and he investigated the car bomb assassination of Rafiq Hariri, also seen as part of this coalition. And the fear is that this will inflame some of the tensions in Lebanon because it's being blamed, the bombing is being blamed on Syria and perhaps its proxies in Lebanon itself. Lebanon went through a very horrific civil war. The memories of that war are still fresh in Lebanon, and I think will act as a deterrent to those who might slip into a renewed conflict. But in Beirut and in Lebanon today, the fears are that those days might return, partly as a result of the tensions in Syria and especially this latest bombing.